Hello everyone, my name is Divakar Sabharwal and this is my hotel reservation system database project for the B103 databases and big data module. The purpose of this project was to define and implement a relational database using MariaDB that can manage customers' rooms, bookings, payments and hotel services. This project demonstrates database design principles, normalization, relationships, constraints, and SQL query implementations. Let's now move to the ERD diagram. This is the entity relation diagram for the database. The database consists of 7 main tables: customers, bookings, rooms, room types, payments, booking services, and services. Almost all the tables have one-to-many relationship, but only the bookings and services has a many-to-many relationship. That's why they also have a junction table in between them called the booking services table. All the constraints like the primary keys have been clearly mapped here. And now let's move to the database implementation. I implemented the database in MariaDB using SQL. Here in the SQL file, I first created the database schema, then created all tables with their primary key and foreign keys. I also applied constraints such as primary key, foreign keys, unique constraints, default values, check constraints. Like here, I have the referencing to the room's type ID from the room types table, and in the bookings table you can see we have the default value confirmed for the booking status. In payments we have the default value completed for the payment status and referencing to the booking ID from the bookings table. And moving on with the services, we have the bookings and services table for services and referencing to the bookings ID and service ID because it was a junction table as earlier told. So next was the implement insertion of data into the database. I gathered all this data and input it as a sample data for checking the functionality of the database, and this all pretty much shows how much data I entered for every table: customers, bookings, payments, booking services. And now let's hop on to the main part of the project, that was the queries. Let's start with inserting a new customer into the database. I selected the query and ran it, and we can see the success message that the new customer was created. Now for seeing if we have the customer in our customers table, we'll just use the where query and see if that customer is there. Yep, it was. Now we will update the customer with the phone number, and it was also a success. This query is to see if there's any customer without any bookings. So yeah, we just added the customer and it didn't had any bookings, so it was shown here. We will now delete the customers and move forward. This was the query to see all the necessary booking details like the booking ID, full name, room name, type, name, check-in and check-out dates. This was the query to count total bookings we had. This was the query to see how much money did we earn from different payment methods. This is the query to find the average booking payment from our customers. Then the next query shows us the total revenue we earn from different kind of services that the hotel offers. Then the next query is for the revenue from the rooms. The next query is for the payment methods that have more than 3 transactions. You can see the credit cards and debit cards were used most of the times. So the next query was to see what are the suite rooms that we have in our hotel. So the output tells us 401 to 404 are the suite rooms. And the last query was to check the total revenue of the hotel from the payments table that we had in our database. And that is all from my side. This was the whole project that I created for my module. I hope you like it. I tried my best to implement all the database concepts, and that was all from my side. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.